Last time out in Global Ventures, I started building this, Bandito, which will eventually hold the record for the most inversions on a roller coaster. This time out, we're heading back to the Odyssey of the Olympians section of the park. Souvenir shops are now a thing in Planet Coaster 2, so I think it's time we head back here to the Greek Antiquities and give it a bit of an upgrade. Hey everyone, it's M4J here, and welcome back to Global Ventures here on Planet Coaster 2. Let me just move my microphone where it's a little more comfortable. There we go. Couple of things. First of all, it is the temperature of the sun in my office right now, so apologies if there are several cuts in this video. It's just me running off to hide in front of my air conditioning unit, which I can't have on whilst I'm recording, which saddens me so. But yeah, we'll try and plug through it and get this episode out. Update 6 has come to the game, and with it lots of exciting stuff. We're going to be talking about most of that in a minute. Another little bit of housekeeping very quickly. If you hear a repetitive vibrating noise throughout this video, or at least throughout this part of the video, I have a watch on charge, a smartwatch on charge right under my desk, and for some reason it's deciding to dance the tango every 30 seconds. So I don't know why it's doing that, but apologies if you can hear that. Anyway, where were we? What were we doing? Well, last time out, as you saw in the intro, no doubt, we were building this, which is going to become Bandito Escape the West, which is a very high-octane, high-speed, high-thrill roller coaster. I have already decided that changes need to be made to what we've already built here. I think I said this at the end of last episode anyway, so this shouldn't be coming as a shock. We're going to change the order of elements, We're going to change how certain things work. We're also going to leave more space in this area for reasons that update 6 will make very clear shortly. And I want to change the way that this element here banks, and I kind of want to do that now because I feel like this might be the bit that takes the longest to achieve. Essentially, what I want to do is from here, bank this the other way, if it lets me do it. I might have to snip and replace. Either that or I do something like this. Actually, kind of what it's doing there is okay, but I'm going to still bring this back here, remove that, and then bring this in. I'm regretting this already, I'll be honest. Let's do this, and then we're going to not do that. No. We're going to do this, and then here we're going to do this, and at this point we're going to start twisting it. And then a bit more. Is it that way? Yeah. And then a bit more, and then I guess this point we connect it up, right? Yeah, that's better already. And then here we are going to smooth it. I'm hoping that still counts as an inversion. If it doesn't, we're in trouble. But we're not going to know that until the end. To be honest, even if it doesn't, we can just come back and change the banking. So that's fine. But I wanted to get that nice little pop of airtime at the top of this. So I feel like that is the money maker on this ride, is that awesome airtime at the top of that. I mean, that's the... Well, I might as well say it. This is going to be one of the photo points of the ride, if not the photo point of the ride. So it's worth getting it in now and seeing how it looks. So the reason I wanted to change this element here to bank this direction is because I wanted this long support here to come down this side where it's not obstructing the Greek area. Basically, this is quite tall. You might have noticed it's 37 meters tall, which I think we said last time was 120 something feet, give or take a Tuesday. Because of that, we want to make sure that when we're putting shrubbery and rockwork and all that stuff around here, that we're not impeding too much on the Greek themed area. These areas are going to blend into one another slightly, but not to that same extent. So I think this is somewhat of a successful operation. I am going to just make sure that this is banked a little more smoothly. There we go. And I'm pretty certain that that will count as an inversion. If not, we'll just come back and we'll move the banking a little bit. But I wanted it to try and be as uninverted as possible at the top here so that we get that awesome airtime. Anyway, update 6 is out. It's brought lots of cool things. First of all, it's brought the fairy tale theme back. It's also brought the pirate theme back, which is awesome because our central island over here, the more I'm looking at it on the map and everything, the more I'm thinking it's called Vibes of the Islands right now, but I'm starting to think it's going to become a pirate themed area with Fortress Raiders or Raider the Fort. I think it's it's Fortress Raider, which is the signature coaster of the area. Could be a pirate themed. It's a bit similar in plot to Bandito when you think about it, but there are lots of rides in lots of parks where the themes or the styles are very similar to one another, so it's not going to be that different, is it? So those are the two main themes. We've also had the sci-fi theme added to the game since last time, which is also perfect because the next area over here, City of the Future, is very much... It's not sci-fi as such, it's more cyberpunky type thing, but it's still going to be awesome to have. And gift shops, souvenir shops, have come to Planet Coaster 2. Very similar from what I've seen to Planet Zoos, but with more stuff added, I believe. It's more modular this time around. We're actually going to explore that in today's episode. I'm sure the title's given that away already. But we're going to have a look-see and see what we can achieve. One other thing that has come to the game in this update, and this is why I'm in this area, which is Greek Antiquities, which first of all is going to get a massive, major refit to fit the new souvenir shop inside it. It's also going to get a major refit to fit something else inside of it. Now over here we've got these information kiosks. These are going to stay because we need these to sell priority passes. These are information kiosks, aren't they? Yeah. These sell priority passes, which guests can then use on rides like Poseidon's Plunge, for example. But elsewhere, I'm really tempted. I was tempted to build it in this area, but I think it's too far away from the exit. So I think what we might do is retrofit it into this sort of area. Maybe make this no longer an entrance, and we'll have like a little porch area here. And it'll work because it's directly opposite the exit to Poseidon here. Although if you're going down the ramp, you have to go the long way around, but that's fine. On-ride photos. This is something I didn't think would ever come to the game, and yet here we are talking about it. On-ride photos are in Planet Coaster 2, which is incredibly exciting, and I'm going to show you me installing one, if all goes well, of course. Now, before I do that, I just want to plan this out. So Greek Antiquities is going to get refitted as well into a proper souvenir shop. So I think one of the things we're going to do is take out these horrible archways and build these in properly. Therefore the path layout is going to change in here slightly, I would imagine. I think what we could actually do is this area here, turn it into an on-ride photo section. I like that, because then we can remove that and build this back in. Is that the right way around? It looks like it is. We've got that weird white effect there, but I think that's fine. We're then going to grab this, this, and this. Not the light. We're going to move that to... Yeah, looks like there. And then we're going to stick this in here. We can then grab this and duplicate. Oh, I need snap on for this. You're going to go there. We'll find something else to go in that spot there. And then this wall can actually come out again, which is nice. And to be honest, this wall can come out again as well. And we will pop this there. There we are. come out of this, and we're going to move the path now. That's going to be this. Which, it would be nice if you could move a path. I know you can do it with the advanced move tool. But what I mean is, if I was to select this, if I could just hit a button now and just move this node. But I don't think... It might be in the game. If it is, let me know by all means. But I don't believe that's actually doable. Let's go inside this building here. Where is... Oh, of course it's there. Right where I don't want it. That's also not what I wanted. Come on. Let me click there. I think, yeah. You're being difficult. There we go. Now I can move that there. Okay. Nice. So this is now our little canvas area to work with. So what we're going to do, because I believe this is actually attached. You can attach them to buildings. If I can get my words out. What do they come under? Souvenir shops? That's there. Photo kiosk counter. Perfect. So yeah, we could move this. Looks like we will have to move it in the path a little bit. So this one, I'm going to scooch this in to about there, I'd say, which means potentially, or maybe not actually. I was going to say potentially guests will walk through there, but I think we've actually done enough to stop that being an issue. Oh, they do actually have kiosks as well. No, I want to do this one properly. So we're going to put one here and then one on this side. And that should stop guests from walking through. This will be an open area, or at least it'll be a hatch where staff members can get in and out. I also want, not staff, what am I doing? Am I still in the... No, I'm not. No worries. Now I want the screens, which are special effects. Nope. This shows how little I know about this. Oh, hello. Might have to do an F1 themed area. Where are screens? Oh, security's been added as well. Of course it has. Oh my god. Right, I might have to go turn that off until I've got my head around how that works. I just want screens. Yeah, these. Oh, that. Yeah, that's what I wanted. The wall mount. But I want it correctly on this side of things. I mean, there's ceiling mounted ones as well, which are kind of cool. But yeah, we do want these. And I want one above this chap here. Or chapette. Depends who's going to be working here, of course. And then one there. That looks to be correct. Bigger than that, please. 2 meter one? Yeah. And I believe I can snap you both to these. Alrighty. So in principle, this is what we're setting up today. Now I'm going to come out of this for a minute because we now need to add this side of things, which is the on-ride photo camera. So the first place we're going to, well, the first thing we're going to do is put the trigger in, which I wanted down here, but that seems to not be good. Now there's a question. Why is here no good? But up here is good. I mean, I guess I can do that. Fits. It works, right? Right, next thing. So the camera is there. But what we're going to do is... Also this, yeah, I love this whole thing. The fact that... can I not move you back? Oh, see, that's actually very annoying. Because that's not what... This is not where I wanted to place this at all. But I guess we'll put it... like here. I guess we'll get it near this rock. And then we can mess around with it and stuff. So something like this. Do I want to roll it? No, I don't want to roll it. So yeah, it's going to have to go there. I wanted it down here in this area here, pointing at this here, because I thought that would look cool. Either that or down here just before the splash. But I suppose having it on this downslope here isn't the worst. And we can do something like this just to bring it down a little bit more. And we'll put some kind of scenery element to hide it. Alright, confirm. Now we're going to add a photo kiosk. In fact, I don't think we do it this way now. I think what we do is we come out of this and we come back over to this, and yeah, we connect ride. Now, one thing I haven't checked is how many of these we can add. So you're linked to Poseidon's Plunge. Are you linked to Poseidon's Plunge? No. It's not going well, guys. There's some things here that I didn't check before I committed to this, and I think that's starting to become quite obvious. Alright. You're going to be fake. Next thing. This screen here. We're going to call you Poseidon's Plunge Photo 1. Like so. We're going to copy that as well. Change image. Ride photos. Poseidon's Plunge. Can I not confirm you yet? Why can I not confirm you yet? I don't know. Might have to come back to that. You are going to be Poseidon's Plunge 2. It's actually very interesting that I can't connect you. Maybe I have to have the game unpaused. Let's just progress this for a second. I want to watch the flash as well. Where's the next boat? Quite a ways away. I take it there's no more bugs or anything with the operations here. No, that seems to be how I had it set up now, which is good. Any sign of a boat. Any danger of a boat leaving at all in the next however long. Ah, you didn't have an operator. I bet that's what the problem was. Yeah. I'm almost certain that's what the problem was. Right, we have a one-person boat going up. It's fine. If you've watched Frontier Unlocked, you already know what this looks like. And to be honest, by the time this video comes out, if you haven't seen Frontier Unlocked, then you're probably not interested in the game anyway. Or at least not that clip from it. Here it goes. So any second now. There's the drop, and there's the flash. Now, can I recolor this camera? No. I don't seem to be able to select it, so no, guess not. Alrighty. That's another interesting thing. Let's see if I can change you now. What am I doing? Change image. Yeah, Poseidon's Plunge. That's what we want. And then you, same thing. And this is going to cycle through the images now, which is awesome. Love it. We're not going to connect speakers. We don't need to worry about that. Cool. And then we can open this, which I don't want to auto-hire for. So we're going to open it, and then immediately you fire. Sorry. Sorry. But yeah, you have to leave now. There's the next one. And then, yeah, this is just going to update. Every time a boat goes through, it'll update the photos, which I think is absolutely amazing. It's so much better than I thought it was going to be as well. When they announced it, I was like, oh yeah, on Ride Photos, it's going to be some weird thing where, you're not going to see anything like this. There'll be a kiosk, they'll walk past it on the way out, or even they'll just buy it on the way out. But no, they do actually grab the photo as they go. So, now I've wasted 20 minutes of your time. Let's talk about this actual video today. The plan is, today and probably next time as well, because I imagine we're going to run out of time, I want to refit all of these gift shops. Starting at guest services at the front here, which is probably going to stay as it is, to be fair, because this is pretty guest servicey, let's be honest. But from here, these are all going to be refitted. So all of this is going to get ripped out. Hat's fantastic. We're probably going to turn this one into... Do we have a name for this one, actually? I don't think any of these have names. So that's the first thing we're going to do, is come up with names for them. We're going to look at the facades and see if we can improve them. And then we're going to turn them into proper gift shops inside. So we're going to use the souvenir counters. We're going to put shelves everywhere. In some cases, these may be split down the middle. Whoops. So I saw Geekism's video where he said there's a limit on the number of shelves you can have connected to a kiosk. So these two kiosks might have this half connected. These two kiosks will have this half connected. And it will all act as one shop, but it will technically be two separate ones. We're then going to pop down here, same thing again. Pop down here, same thing again. You can see I built these with that in mind. I had no idea at the time if souvenir shops were actually going to come to the game, but I'm very glad that I anticipated it, because that's going to make life so much easier. We are then going to come over here to this shop, which is unnamed, because I'm good like that. And we're going to do the same thing. We're going to turn this into a souvenir shop. I wanted to go up the hill there and build an on-ride photo section for Solomoish River Rapids, but unfortunately can't do that. There's no photo section for water rides, which I think needs reconsidering. I don't know if Log Flumes have it or not, but the River Rapids doesn't. Why would you not want an on-ride photo of this? Beggars belief, really, doesn't it? We're also going to, not so much over here at Floresta Amazonica, but some of the other eateries around. We're going to build restaurants, because that's in the game as well. I think that came in just as I was finishing the last episode. But mainly it's going to be refitting these gift shops here. This one here. Building on-ride photo sections for Hades and Zeus. And having this under here become an on-ride photo area and not a gift shop anymore. So I think maybe even here, taking this path out here, which might involve some complications with how this works, but turning this into a on-road photo section for Hades, and then this side for Zeus. Maybe having a little bit of a souvenir shop in here. We'll call it Olympus Gifts or something, I don't know. Brazino over here. Oh, sorry, Bradino. Brazino's a dish. Bradino, the Greek-themed restaurant, is going to become an actual restaurant. So all of this is going to get ripped out. We're going to theme it properly. These are all going to get replaced with an actual restaurant. And then we'll leave the gelato bit outside as is. Greek Antiquities is going to get refitted as a gift shop. And we're also going to come over here to the Romaico Vineyard. And we're going to fit this out as well. Because right now it's just these. And let's be honest, it's crap. So we're going to make this look like a proper vineyard souvenir shop. We're also going to put a lot more lighting in here now, because the lighting has been changed as part of the update too. But we're not going to walk before we can run. So the first thing I'm going to do is come over here, fit out this on-ride photo thing properly. And is it these playing the sound? Or is it you? Something over here is playing sound. Can't imagine it's going to be you. Oh yeah, shop radio. It was you. Oh, you are Poseidon Plunge photo. There we go. Yeah. Sorry, I got distracted. We're going to fit this out and make it look really nice and really cool. And then hopefully we'll watch guests come off here, straight over here, to buy their on-ride photos. Oh, and we're also going to fit out this shop as well. So I'll see you in just a second when that's all done. Alrighty, update time. First of all, confession time. It has been over a month, I think, since I recorded that last section. So you'll have to bear with me if I completely forget everything I talked about that I was going to do. But one thing that I can confirm, if I just play the game again, Greek Antiquities I think is complete. We'll go in and see in a second. You can see a little preview through the archway there. First of all, the on-ride photos. This I'm very happy with. I think this looks awesome. We've got a little doorway on the outside there that goes into a more modern doorway there. We got the price list here, which is somewhat legible. The colours are a little bit... Looking at my preview there, I think you can just about read it. The screens in the background are awesome. The things on the walls are awesome. She's happy and waving, so she's clearly loving life. And yeah, we've got a couple of little things here, like we've got the trident. This is custom. It's I can't actually remember doing that, but yeah, I've put the on-ride photos on there as well. This would be where, so this is if you're buying an actual on-ride photo, you'll buy it from this lady here, or this gentleman, whoever's running it at the time. If you're buying the digital version though, which of course isn't actually in the game, but you'll come over here and you'll do it all on this screen, and it's on a little pivot so they can swing it round and you can see for yourself what kind of photo you want, and then they'll email it to you. We've also got down here just some old cases and stuff. You can imagine this is what the photo frames, you know, the little flimsy frames they give you these days at theme parks when you get your photos printed. They're all in this photographic paper, all that stuff that gets run through the printer. Let's go inside and take a look at Greek Antiquities then. I'm very happy with this as well, actually. Excuse me. I kind of finished playing the game last time and went away thinking not my best work, but I've actually come back in and had a look and I'm pretty happy with it. Ignore the fact that, oh no, she's not being decapitated there. I thought that was a actual low ceiling, but it's not. Yeah, the more I look at this though, the more I'm falling in love with it. I love these little spotlights here shining down on these. I love the little dividers. I will admit I borrowed quite a lot here from the School of Geekism. I think at the time I was building this, souvenir shops were still relatively new, and Geekism had just released his retrofitting his parks with souvenir shops video, and I was kind of looking at how he was integrating these stands into buildings. Although his method was build the building, like build all the stuff inside first and then build a shell around it. That can work, but considering this is surrounded on all sides by footpaths, it wasn't really a feasible thing for me. Plus I had an existing building that I had to cram all of this into. So the good thing is I managed to do all of this without actually editing the outer shell of the building in any way, shape or form. I did move some stuff around inside. For example, that's a slightly slanted wall there. This used to be a set of walls here. That's now been ripped out. This is where the counters are. I think both of these are functional. Otherwise, they wouldn't be there, would they? No, they would not. I love the fact, look, you got the little contactless symbol and stuff. That's cool. Shame none of that is actually, you know, updatable, but never mind. Little changing room here for the t-shirts. I will put a sign up eventually saying that. This used to actually be a toilet block, but it wasn't fitting very well, so I ripped it all out. And then we've got these walls here slanted as well, just for a little bit of interest. It actually makes the building feel a lot more complete, not having those be straight edges, which I'm really, really happy with. The crowning glory of this, though, if I can get the right camera angle, is this. Medusa herself. I don't think Medusa's going to feature in any of my rides in this area, so having her here is fine. And I thought she was animated. Oh yeah, every minute she animates, so we might get to see that in a second. If I speed up time, is it going to do it? I can't actually remember what she does. There we go. Yeah, so every now and then she'll just reach down and scare the absolute bejesus out of someone walking past. That's the fun of a theme park, right? You're supposed to scare people. That's what Merlin seemed to think the process of a theme park is these days anyway. We've kept the information kiosks outside here, so you can buy your priority passes for things like Poseidon's Plunge and, of course, Jewel for Olympia over there. Now, originally, this video was going to involve retrofitting this as well, which is our restaurant here, Bandito. We were going to rip all of this out and we we're going to replace it with a proper restaurant. That is still on the agenda. We're just not doing that today. And I think what we're going to do when that time comes is probably turn this wall here into more of an archway thing. Replace this area here with a drop as well. And maybe have this more of a balcony. I don't know. I'm sort of speculating. Because the actual restaurant part, I think, is going to go in the far corner. And then all of this is going to be... Actually, maybe the restaurant will stay here. Because it could then double up with... with Gelato Bros, and then you can have all of this under bit here as the kitchen, and then also it's far away from the toilet block, which I think is also a smart idea. You don't want to be defecating where you're eating, as the expression says. Oh my god, I keep going into buildings. So yeah, that's not going to happen today. We're going to do that in a separate video some ways down the line, possibly. What I am going to do though, because I've been itching to get back into this game for quite some time now, and the amount of ideas I've had is awesome, which is good because I thought I had creative block, and it turns out I was just, you know, waiting for update announcements and things like that. And nothing particularly in the latest update announcement has actually got the creative juices flowing. Just the thought of getting back into the game is what did it for me. I really, really want to get Bandito here finished. Finished, up and running, open. And because of that, we're actually going to fit out this now, which is the general store of Goldlite. This is going to be the signature souvenir shop of this area of the park, and it's also the exit shop for Bandito itself. Now, originally I said that this area here was going to be an open mine shaft, and when the ride dives down off its chain lift here, it'll go through here briefly into daylight and then back into darkness again. I think that's no longer going to be the case, to be perfectly honest. And I think the main reason for that is because I want to square off this building, because I've been looking at reference images and things like that, and I've got a really good idea for how I want this to look. Now I'm taking a bit of a gamble here as well, because I haven't yet edited the track layout here. I have a list of things that I want to do that I may or may not have mentioned before. Let me just get the list up. So replace speed turnaround with banana roll. That's this bit here. This banana roll here, I want to move it over here. And I think I'm just going to have it as a conventional... Let me just pause the game a sec so things don't run awry. I think we're just going to have it as a conventional banana roll. So this might be more of a little hop, and then it'll go up into that element. And then replace the banana roll with a dive loop into the corkscrew. So here, it's going to come up. Actually, I've got to think about this quite carefully now. So over here, this is going to be more of a straight line here. It's going to rise up, flip over and down. And then this part of the track layout here is basically going to remain the same. Then this here might also change. So this will become flatter and connect onto this side, whip around like this, and then climb up into a brake run, which will then bring it behind a building, which is going to go here, and nearer to the railway. The railway is also going to change. We don't need to worry about that right now though. Off the brakes here, it's then going to go into another launch section, and that's just going to give it a little kick boost to do some more elements over here. First one's going to be a dive loop, then it's going to be a 360 degree loop, not a vertical loop, a 360 loop. They are different. I'll explain why when we actually get to that. And then a sidewinder, and then that will be a somehow it'll interact with the railway. I haven't decided yet. The railway is probably going to run directly alongside the brake run though, which is going to be attached to a balcony on the back of this building, which I think is going to be a saloon. We'll see. Some kind of building. And then, yeah, it'll interact with the railway. It'll have a roll over the top of the railway, and then that will take it into this section. And then from here, it's going to be yet to be determined. I've got it written down here, but I'm not going to read it out to you guys because it may still change. So, yeah, we've got a basic idea now as to how the track layout is going to go. We've got a basic idea now as to how this area is going to look. So all that's left to do now is go away and actually kit this out as a souvenir store. And then we can get on with the park. From one souvenir shop to another. We're here in the Odyssey of the Olympians section of the park, and we're about to head to the Legend of the Frontier. If we headed this way, I'm just going to take you along. It's so nice. I don't do this very often, but to actually get down to eye level and look at the park this way, this is when it looks like a proper theme park. I must admit, from up here, there are times where I look at it and I'm like, oh, I'm really not a fan of that. But then when you get down to actual eye level, which I can do this way, thinking about it, this is when it starts to look proper, like a theme park. And there's more stuff going in over there, of course, in the future. All of that area there is going to get populated with rides and attractions and restaurants and shops and all that stuff. In fact, there's going to be 3 massive islands appearing just over yonder there in the future. We're going to head this way, alongside Poseidon's Plunge, alongside this row of houses, which really does need a name, actually. If you have any suggestions, feel free to drop them down below. Always appreciative of that. We're going to go through the vineyard here, under these arches. This shop still needs doing. This is not the one I'm taking you to. Although, yeah, eventually that's going to get kitted out. It will get kitted out. It will look very nice, very lovely. I think what I'm going to do is every area is going to have one sort of standout marquee souvenir shop. and then the rest are kind of going to be cookie cutter, copy paste type thing. So down there I might just copy some of the shelving units from Greek Antiquities and paste it into that one. That's probably a good way of doing it. It's also very nice to get this view of Jewel for Olympia up here as well. This does need a lot more theming. It needs a lot more rock work and trees and things like that. I wanted to settle on the track layout first before I committed to anything, and it seems as though I've settled on it, although the second half for both of these rides actually I'm still not a massive fan of. So there may be some work still needed there. Still like the way they jewel up there though, that's always cool. Little retreat there, what's it called? Not Sirens. I can't remember what that area is called. Never mind, it's not relevant. We're going to go this way. Oh, I just dropped down a massive hole. We're going to go this way, up underneath Bandito, which is going to look very different. Am I running? If I do that? I have no idea. Oh, control seems to crouch. Okay. Does shift run? Yes, I think shift does run. I'm learning the controls still. Here we are. Goldlite General Store. This is awesome. I'm a huge fan of this. It ties in really nicely with Bandito. It actually marks a critical moment in the construction of Bandito. Ignore the fact that you can see the wheel carriers through there. That's not the crucial moment. The crucial moment is this area is pretty much complete. It just needs a roof put on top of the show building there for Bandito's beginning. We're going to go up this way to the ramp. Ignore the statue. That was just a height marker. This here is a nice little balcony area that I've constructed just so you can sit and watch the coaster do its thing. I imagine this would be a nice, not so quiet, but a nice little retreat where people can just sit back and lounge and take in the ambiance of the park for a little bit. But the key thing is what's behind me. If I go in the door here, this is the Goldlite General Store. This is the marquee gift shop for the Legend of the Frontier. I love this. It's based on an image that I found online. A nice inspirational image. Believe it or not, it does actually intentionally look this basic inside. I think the example image, if I can just find it. Ooh, get it up on my other screen. The inspirational image has quite a lot of stone inside, stone walls. But that doesn't really fit with the theme here, because you'll notice outside I've gone with stone walls for the front here, for the facade. But up the top there, it's all wood. I wish the roof line didn't stick through the walls there. That's kind of annoying. I might cover that up. And then there's also those stones there need a cap on top as well of some kind, I think. But yeah, just the little random scenery like the case there, or the pile of cases, the rope, reel, whatever you want to call it. The sack barrow, the chest, there's the wagon wheel there with the little milk churn. There needs to be more stuff, clutter, put down there. We'll come to that in a bit as well. It's all off-camera stuff, to be perfectly honest. These signs above the shelves here, then I need to put random things on them. You know, things like mining supplies, pickaxe, all that stuff. Things that you would buy in a general store in 1853. Because that's where, roughly, mid-1850s is where this area is set. This here, it's very dark, but this is the exit to Bandito. You'll come down these stairs into here. There will be an on-ride photo section. It is not going to be purchasable from in here. It will be a little, if I can see. Can you see, actually? It's very dark. There we go. I'll turn the light on. There'll be a little offshoot in there, which goes into this area, which is directly underneath the loading station, actually. You can see the paths above there. Those ones up there are the Queueline. But there'll be a low ceiling here. You can buy your on-ride photos. I'm just looking. Maybe it'll eke into this bit as well. Or maybe the counters will be here, and this will be the path. Or it's the other way around. We'll see. But it'll connect to this. Can't go this way, because through that wall there is actually the bank. So we've got to be careful there. But yeah, we've got these little counters here, which also need decorating. There'll be a door there that's meant to resemble going into a back stock room. And there is actually a back room here, but it's staff only. We've got a little power supplier there. And over here, we have a staff room itself. And then out of this wall is the back wall here. So all of this, I'll show you properly in just a second. All of this fits within a fairly confined space, which I'm very, very happy with. I was very worried when I started building this that I wouldn't have enough room. But actually, originally, the general store was the full width of this building here, and this awning didn't exist. I actually moved this wall here inwards slightly because the shop was too big. But now the shop, I think, is the perfect size for a gift shop for, you know, an area of this magnitude. And the rest of it, I'm very happy with. Whoops, I thought for some reason it would pop me out over here. But yeah, this is what it looks like from the outside proper. This wall here originally was further up. It was somewhere over here. But now I've got this nice little courtyard area, which is also quite nice. Again, this was meant to be like an open mine shaft for when you rocket underneath on the coaster, which is dropping down there, and then it comes through this way here and then around. What I might actually do is have it turn to the right first and then swing around, and then it'll actually emerge from its tunnel pretty much here, and then the entire second half of the ride will be in this section. I've been doing quite a lot of thinking whilst building the general store, because I keep looking at the ride here and just thinking there's something wrong with it. And I think what it actually is it's just too big. And I don't mean necessarily it's too spread out or anything like that. I mean it's too tall. Like, this here is insane. It's the same height pretty much as Jewel. But Jewel is sat in a hole, whereas Bandito isn't. It's sat on a hillside. So from the bottom here, it just looks massive. So I think what I'm going to do is turn this into a proper Gerstlauer multi-launch type coaster. And we're going to shorten this first hill here. Keep the element the same, but just squinch it down. And get the first inversion. From that, we're going to straighten the track here so that it climbs up into the Immelmann, more this way. We'll still keep the speed hill, and we'll still have this second launch at the bottom of it. That will then lead into the banana roll, which will sit in this gap here. And you'll see that because of that, this whole area here becomes a lot more dense with track. So when you're sat here at the general store looking, there's more to look at, which is also going to be awesome. Coming out of the banana roll, you're then going to have the element up against the general store, which I think we said was a dive loop. I think that was the agreement. And then from there, it will rise up. This corkscrew will remain the same, and then it will go into the stuff that I was talking about earlier. I think that's the plan, and that's what we're going to be doing next time. I wanted to play around with restaurants and stuff like that. I actually wanted to do that this episode, but we kind of run out of time. And then next episode was going to be restaurants, but I kind of don't want to, in all honesty. I want to get this coaster finished and move on. I've been starting to watch other YouTubers on Planet Coaster 2 again, and it's kind of just given me a buzz of inspiration. So I really want to get on and start doing that. And, you know, build rides and make it all look good. So yeah, this area here will be where the track comes out. What I'm going to do is the cut and cover method. So I'm actually going to cut all of this away. That's one of the reasons why I wanted the track to turn to the right here first, so that it curves under the general store, and you can say that it's then part of the same superstructure, you know. The foundations of the general store included the tunnel that the track runs through. And then when it gets to this section here, moving this out of the way means the entire second half of the ride can take place in this area and still run into the breaks there. And then over here will be a different show building for the City of the Future area of the park. Still need to work on redoing the railway, still need to work on all of this bit, but I'm starting to get a better idea now as to how this is going to look, and I'm just glancing up at my map as I'm talking to you here. I think I've got it sussed. So now it's just a case of going away and actually building it, which is very much a different matter altogether. This area here, I'm going to put like another roof on it, I think. No idea how I'm going to do that with the changing angle here. It's just that staff room sticks out a little bit and it looks a bit stupid. No one's ever going to see this in the park. Even on the ride, you don't really see this bit. So I could, in theory, just leave it as it is, or even just turn it into a black building like we've done over here. I might see about that. The only reason I didn't do it with these back walls here is because you see them from the inside. So I wanted to keep up that illusion. But yeah, you can see the Bandito footprint now is starting to come together. And if I do compress this area a little bit more, first of all, it creates a nice natural break here between these two areas, where you could put some trees or something along there to kind of hide it a little more. Secondly, it just helps with the scale. Planet Coaster, it's very easy to sort of run away with yourself and start building things. Excuse me. And start building things that are just way too big, which is what I fell foul of kind of over here. Although the more I look at it, the more I realise it is just kind of like it's almost like a dog bone bent around itself in a U shape. And I do like Jewel. Jewel is one of my favourite projects that I've worked on so far in any of the Planet games. It does work out quite well. I still want to do something here though to make these match up again as they run across this top bit, because it was always designed to do that and then it never did, which is really upsetting. And then from that, maybe rebuild the second half. But that's not happening now. That's a long way down the line when I'm a little bit better at the game. For now though, I think I'm going to go away and put my thinking cap on and come up with a few more ideas for Bandito. This roof is going to go on next episode when the ride is pretty much complete. I do want to see, if I was to move this over to here, would this just create one big... I want to explore. This one. What would happen? It looks like it wants to, but then it doesn't. I think it's just because there's too much stuff there. If I just turn this into one big area. The paths are still the thing that annoy me the most in Planet Coaster 2. Frontier apparently though have invited some creators recently to talk about the future of the game, and they are listening to the community. And I've always said that about Frontier from the very start, when people were hounding them in the comments when this game first released. I've always stuck to the mantra of they listen to the community and they will always come through. They did that with Planet Coaster, they did that with Planet Zoo, they did that with the F1 Manager series, and they're showing once again that they're doing it with Planet Coaster 2. If we are throwing our hats into the ring though, one thing I would love to see for this game, and I think this is something that is doable. It's not even something, they have to rewrite the entire game from scratch. I believe this is just, obviously there's more to it than what I'm about to say, but I believe it's just editing a couple of lines of code somewhere and referencing something in something else. The fact that we have a system now where on-ride photos, as this boat comes through here, a photo is taken and it will appear on this screen. This screen and also this screen, as it happens. I want something similar, but for queue times. If I was to select Zeus here, you can see queue time 8 minutes. I want this number here to appear on a little screen that can be placed at the entrance to a queue. And it doesn't even have to be interactive for guests. It's just for us. You could put a little post here with a little screen on it, and just above it, it says queue time, and then it will say 8 minutes. That's all I want. And I believe that's doable. The fact that the time is visible here, I just want this number to be extracted and displayed on a screen. And you can even do it the same way that you do with the on-ride photos. You take a little screen, you place it down, you hit connect to, and you click this ride. And it'll just constantly update the queue time. Apparently queue times are updated every time a train is dispatched. So that's all it has to do. Every time a train is dispatched on the ride, it just needs to update the queue time for the ride and then display that number on the screen. Why is no one queuing for Zeus, but loads of people are queuing for Hades? Is it just a capacity thing? Literally no one is queuing for Zeus. Did Zeus just break down? That's a possibility. Let me just zoom out. There's hardly anyone in the park now as well. I'm not a huge fan of the way they changed the way guest spawning happens. It doesn't happen as frequently now. And yeah, I need to do something about these supports. This whole queue needs rebuilding. That's on the to-do list as well for the future. I'm completely gone off on a segue. But yeah, that was my one little suggestion for Planet Coaster 2. Frontier, if you're listening, please make it happen. I'm coming from a very basic coding experience of I believe it can happen. But please prove me right. And if you are able to, make it happen. For now, though, I'm going to wrap up this video. Thank you very much for watching. Hopefully you've enjoyed our little foray here into souvenir shops. next time out we are returning to the ancient art of coaster building, and we're basically rebuilding this entire part of Bandito from scratch. So that's going to be fun. Until then, like I said, thank you very much for watching. Don't forget to hit the like button if you enjoyed the video, and of course, if you're enjoying the series so far, drop those comments down below with ideas for future episodes and feedback on the current park. It's always very much appreciated. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, be sure to hit the subscribe button. If you have already subscribed to the channel, thank you for your continued support. Enjoy the rest of your evening, and until next time, I will see you soon.